The Future of Psychology, How AI and Tech Will Change the Field. Written and published by C.Irmici. Feel free to subscribe for more content. Now let's get into the book. Introduction. In the past century, psychology has evolved from a field focused on behavioral observations and introspection into a comprehensive science that integrates neuroscience, genetics, and social psychology. But now, a new frontier is unfolding. One shaped by artificial intelligence, big data, virtual reality, and neurotechnology. These advancements promise to revolutionize how mental health issues are diagnosed, treated, and even understood. This book explores how these cutting-edge tools are changing psychology and mental health care, delving into the remarkable ways AI and technology are shaping a future that, until recently, was relegated to the realm of science fiction. Imagine this. You're struggling with anxiety, but instead of waiting weeks for a therapy appointment, you access immediate support from an AI-powered mental health assistant that's trained to respond empathetically and accurately to your needs. This assistant doesn't replace human therapists but serves as a lifeline for those moments between sessions, offering guidance, tracking progress, and even alerting you when it senses heightened stress. This scenario is not just possible, it's already happening. Innovations like AI-driven diagnostic tools, chatbots, and virtual therapy environments are transforming the experience of mental health care, making it more accessible, personalized, and efficient. Yet, the integration of AI and technology into psychology raises profound questions. Can an algorithm truly understand human emotions? What about privacy when sensitive mental health data is collected and analyzed by machines? Will virtual therapies lead to the decline of traditional face-to-face sessions, or will they complement them in meaningful ways? This book addresses these questions and more, examining the promises and challenges of a tech-driven future for psychology. Each chapter unpacks a different aspect of this transformation. We'll begin with the history of psychology and technology's intersection, setting the stage for an understanding of how far we've come. Then we'll dive into specific advancements, AI-powered diagnostics, virtual reality treatments, and neurotechnology. We'll discuss not only the practical applications of these tools but also their ethical and privacy implications, considering the safeguards needed to ensure AI's responsible use in mental health. By the end of this book, you'll have a comprehensive view of the current landscape of AI in psychology, an understanding of where we're headed, and insight into the potential roadblocks along the way. While no one can predict exactly how this revolution will unfold, one thing is certain. The field of psychology stands on the brink of a transformative era, and technology will be at its core. Let's journey together into the future of psychology, where the boundaries between human and machine blur, and the possibilities for mental health care are redefined. Chapter 1. The Evolution of Psychology and Technology. Psychology, as a field, has always adapted to new understandings and tools, transforming its approaches to reflect advances in science and society. Initially rooted in philosophical inquiry, psychology emerged as a formal discipline in the late 19th century, primarily focused on understanding human behavior through observation and introspection. With time, psychology embraced biological perspectives, cognitive approaches, and later, a more integrative biopsychosocial model. Now, technology is ushering in another profound shift, enabling psychologists to utilize tools and methods unimaginable just decades ago. This chapter traces the journey of psychology from its early days to its current intersection with technology, setting the foundation for understanding the latest developments and future possibilities. The early days, psychology as observation and analysis. In its infancy, psychology was concerned with observing behavior and exploring the mind's inner workings through methodologies like introspection, psychoanalysis, and behaviorism. These approaches relied heavily on subjective analysis and the clinician's expertise. Freud's psychoanalysis delved into the subconscious, exploring dreams and free association as windows into the mind, while Watson and Skinner's behaviorism offered a contrasting view that focused on observable behavior, positing that all actions are responses to environmental stimuli. While groundbreaking, these approaches had limitations. Psychoanalysis, for instance, was criticized for its lack of scientific rigor, as its interpretations were often subjective and unverifiable. Behaviorism, though more systematic, ignored complex inner states and emotions, painting an incomplete picture of human experience. Both approaches were groundbreaking for their time, but psychology needed a more empirical foundation to evolve as a science. By the 20th century, advances in neurology and cognitive science opened new doors, allowing psychology to delve deeper into brain function and the structure of mental processes. Cognitive revolution, the integration of mind and science. In the 1950s and 60s, the field experienced a cognitive revolution, moving from a focus on observable behavior to the study of mental processes like memory, perception, and problem-solving. This revolution marked a significant shift, bridging psychology with neuroscience and other biological sciences. Researchers began to understand the brain's structure and functions in greater detail, using imaging techniques like electroencephalography (EEG) to observe brain activity. This era introduced psychology to empirical methodologies, bringing scientific precision to understanding how we think, learn, and feel. Cognitive psychology's union with technology during this time was still in its early stages, but computers and data analysis started to play essential roles in studies and research. By analyzing large datasets and complex computations, psychologists could now test and refine their theories more effectively. Technology's role in psychology began as a support tool, helping researchers collect and analyze data, but its future role would become much more integrative and essential. The digital age, data, computers, and early artificial intelligence. By the 1990s, personal computers became more widely accessible, and data analysis techniques advanced rapidly. Researchers in psychology, now able to store and analyze more data than ever, used computational methods to simulate cognitive processes and explore mental health patterns. Early AI models, such as neural networks, were inspired by the brain's structure, simulating learning processes and pattern recognition in ways reminiscent of human cognition. This period also saw the rise of digital mental health tools, albeit simple by today's standards. Programs emerged that allowed individuals to engage with cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT) exercises from their computers, introducing the idea of self-guided mental health support. With the Internet's growth, psychology also embraced online surveys, virtual support groups, and teletherapy, extending mental health resources beyond traditional settings and reaching broader populations. The potential of technology in psychology became evident, setting the stage for even greater integration in the 21st century. The current era, a tech-driven revolution in psychology. Today we stand on the cusp of an unprecedented transformation in psychology, with artificial intelligence, machine learning, virtual reality, and neurotechnology becoming integral parts of mental health care. These technologies provide new ways to diagnose, treat, and even predict mental health issues with greater precision than ever before. For example, AI algorithms can analyze patterns in speech or facial expressions to detect symptoms of depression, sometimes even before an individual is consciously aware of them. Predictive analytics allows mental health professionals to anticipate patient needs, enabling early intervention and, in many cases, preventing severe mental health episodes. Virtual reality is creating new treatment environments for exposure therapy, which is particularly beneficial for individuals with phobias, PTSD, and anxiety. Wearable technology and smartphone apps are helping users track their mental health daily, providing both therapists and patients with invaluable data about mood patterns, sleep quality, and stress levels. These tools are moving psychology into a realm where data-driven insights and personalized care are more achievable than ever before. Reflecting on the challenges and ethical considerations. With these technological advances come significant ethical considerations. Data privacy, for instance, is a pressing concern. The sensitive nature of mental health data means that breaches could have severe consequences for individuals. Additionally, as AI systems gain the capability to assess and potentially predict mental health states, questions arise about the responsible use of such predictions. Should employers or insurance companies have access to these insights? Could predictions about mental health be used unfairly against individuals? Moreover, the digital divide remains a critical issue, with technology disproportionately accessible in higher-income regions. While AI and tech-driven tools promise to democratize mental health care, they risk reinforcing inequalities if certain populations lack access to these advancements. This chapter will serve as a foundation for these discussions throughout the book, establishing the importance of ethical considerations alongside technological innovations. A new era begins. The evolution of psychology and technology's role within it has been nothing short of transformative. From the days of introspection and psychoanalysis to today's data-driven, AI-enhanced treatments, psychology has continually adapted to meet the demands of an evolving world. As we move forward in this book, we will explore how current technological advancements are reshaping mental health care and psychology, offering unprecedented insights and transforming how practitioners and patients approach mental wellness. In the coming chapters, we'll dive deeper into these innovations, starting with how AI-driven tools are revolutionizing mental health assessments and diagnostic processes. By the end, we will gain a clearer vision of where psychology is heading and what we, as individuals and as a society, need to consider as we step into this new era. Chapter 2: Artificial Intelligence in Diagnosis and Assessment. Imagine visiting a therapist who, before you even speak, has access to a wealth of information predicting your mental health needs based on subtle cues, patterns in your speech, micro-expressions on your face, or even your typical texting language. This isn't a scene from a distant future. It's the current trajectory of artificial intelligence in psychology. AI is rapidly transforming mental health diagnosis and assessment, creating tools that offer more precision and, in many cases, earlier intervention than traditional methods. The promise of AI in psychological assessment. One of the most promising applications of AI in psychology is in diagnosing mental health disorders. Traditional diagnostics rely on a therapist's interpretation of self-reported symptoms, medical histories, and clinical observations, a process that, while invaluable, can sometimes be limited by subjective bias or restricted time with the patient. With AI, there's the potential to overcome these limitations by adding layers of data analysis that detect patterns invisible to the human eye. Machine learning algorithms, a core component of AI, can analyze vast amounts of data at remarkable speed, recognizing trends that would take humans far longer to discern. For instance, AI systems are already being developed to analyze speech patterns as potential indicators of depression or anxiety. Research has shown that certain word choices, sentence structures, and even vocal tone can provide hints about a person's mental state. These AI tools could listen for these markers unobtrusively during therapy sessions, providing therapists with additional insights and helping them tailor their approaches. Similarly, AI-powered facial recognition software can detect micro-expressions, fleeting, involuntary facial movements that reveal true emotions. These expressions are often too quick for human observation but can be captured and analyzed by AI to reveal underlying feelings, such as fear, sadness, or anger. Such insights could help therapists understand their patients on a deeper level, picking up on emotions that patients may be hesitant to voice. The development of digital biomarkers in mental health. Digital biomarkers are another fascinating development in AI-assisted psychology. These are data points gathered through digital interactions that provide clues about an individual's mental health. For example, an individual's typing speed, the frequency of their social media posts, or even the patterns in their phone usage can be used to gauge mood fluctuations, energy levels, and overall mental health. Through sophisticated algorithms, AI can analyze these behaviors and detect signs of potential disorders like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, or major depressive episodes. For instance, a person experiencing a manic episode may type more quickly, send more messages, or spend significantly more time on social media, reflecting heightened energy and engagement. On the other hand, a person slipping into depression may show reduced online activity, delayed response times, or a shift in language toward more negative or withdrawn expressions. These subtle behavioral changes, when tracked over time, create a picture that may alert mental health professionals to a developing issue even before symptoms become severe. One pioneering area of research is the application of natural language processing (NLP) to assess language patterns. NLP algorithms analyze written or spoken words to detect emotional tone, risk factors, and even specific mental health symptoms. This can be particularly valuable for identifying suicidal ideation or depressive tendencies. Text-based interactions such as journaling apps or chatbot conversations are fed into NLP algorithms that scan for red flag words, helping alert therapists to users who may need immediate attention. AI and personalized mental health care. The use of AI in diagnosis is about more than just faster or earlier assessments. It opens the door to truly personalized mental health care. Each person's experience with mental health is unique, shaped by a combination of biological, psychological, and social factors. AI tools can synthesize these factors into a cohesive understanding of each individual, allowing therapists to craft highly customized treatment plans. Personalized care means that treatment options could evolve dynamically based on the patient's progress, tracked through data inputs like wearable devices, online interactions, and therapy sessions. For example, a patient with anxiety might benefit from different approaches over time, starting with cognitive behavioral techniques and later integrating mindfulness exercises if initial responses are strong. AI could analyze data to suggest when to introduce these new techniques, providing a smart roadmap that adapts in real time to the patient's progress. Another exciting avenue is AI's ability to analyze large sets of treatment data to recommend approaches that have worked well for similar profiles. This is called predictive treatment, where the algorithm draws from outcomes seen in thousands of other patients with similar conditions and characteristics. Rather than a one-size-fits-all approach, AI offers tailored guidance based on an understanding of what works best for a particular individual. Addressing bias and privacy in AI-driven assessments. While the possibilities of AI in psychology are thrilling, they're not without serious ethical considerations. AI algorithms, after all, are only as good as the data used to train them. If the training data lacks diversity, say, it's based primarily on populations from a single demographic, then the algorithm's effectiveness across different groups is compromised. This bias in data can lead to inequitable treatment outcomes, as certain groups may be misdiagnosed or misunderstood by the system. Privacy is also a significant concern. Digital biomarkers, facial analysis, and voice recognition require access to deeply personal data. The question of consent becomes essential. How much do patients know about how their data is used and who controls this data? In the hands of an AI-driven assessment tool, sensitive information could be vulnerable to misuse if proper protections aren't in place. Psychologists, tech companies, and regulatory bodies must work together to establish guidelines that ensure transparency, data security, and patient autonomy. Ethics aside, there is also the question of accuracy. AI isn't perfect, and while it can be incredibly precise, it can also make mistakes, misinterpreting a neutral expression as sadness, for instance, or overlooking the nuanced cultural expressions of emotion. Thus, while AI can serve as a powerful aid, it should complement rather than replace the intuition and experience of human clinicians. Ultimately, a hybrid approach, one that integrates AI's data-driven insights with human empathy and contextual understanding, is likely the most effective and ethical path forward. Looking ahead, the future of AI in psychological diagnostics and assessment promises advancements that were once unimaginable. From digital biomarkers to natural language processing, AI enables unprecedented insights into the human mind, helping identify mental health issues earlier, creating more personalized treatments, and expanding access to care. However, these benefits must be balanced with a commitment to ethical standards, robust privacy protections, and ongoing evaluations to ensure equitable and accurate outcomes. As we continue to embrace AI's role in psychology, a collaborative approach will be essential. Mental health professionals and AI developers must work together to refine tools that not only serve the needs of patients but also respect the humanity and complexity inherent in psychological care. As AI-driven assessments become more commonplace, it will be up to practitioners and society at large to navigate this new territory wisely, balancing the immense potential with a mindful approach to technology's limits. Chapter 3: Virtual and Augmented Reality in Therapy. Imagine putting on a headset and suddenly finding yourself on a mountain ledge, feeling the sharp chill of high-altitude air as you confront a long-standing fear of heights. Or perhaps you're stepping into a virtual scene that lets you rehearse a challenging social situation or practice meditation in a calming forest far from urban stress. Virtual reality (VR) and augmented reality (AR) are making these experiences possible, creating immersive therapeutic environments that are revolutionizing mental health care. VR and AR are unique because they provide experiences that engage the mind and body in ways traditional therapy simply cannot. By tricking the senses into believing that they are somewhere else, these technologies offer a safe yet powerful way to face fears, change perceptions, and develop new coping skills. In therapy, VR and AR are already being used to help individuals confront trauma, anxiety, phobias, and even social disorders by immersing them in realistic, controlled environments tailored to their specific needs. These technologies, previously thought of as gaming tools, are now on the front lines of psychological treatment. How VR is transforming exposure therapy. One of the most promising applications of VR in psychology is exposure therapy, a well-established treatment for phobias and anxiety disorders. Traditionally, exposure therapy involves gradually confronting the source of fear in controlled, incremental steps until the fear response diminishes. However, recreating certain fears can be difficult or impractical in a real-world setting. Think of fear of flying, fear of public speaking, or even fear of specific animals. VR, with its ability to simulate virtually any environment, provides a remarkable solution. Take, for instance, someone with a debilitating fear of spiders. In a traditional setting, a therapist might work with images or videos, but the patient's exposure to their fear is limited. With VR, however, the patient can be placed in a virtual environment where a spider is realistically simulated in 3D. The patient, through a VR headset, experiences the spider as if it's truly in front of them, which evokes a much stronger response than static images or videos. Over successive sessions, the virtual spider can be moved closer, simulating the gradual exposure that is crucial for treatment, while allowing the patient to experience a growing sense of control over their fear. VR doesn't just make exposure therapy more accessible, it enhances it. Patients report feeling more immersed and engaged in VR-based therapy, which can make the process of confronting fears feel less forced and more natural. The therapist, meanwhile, has full control over the environment, adjusting elements as needed, making VR a flexible tool that aligns perfectly with the personalized needs of each patient. Virtual environments for trauma therapy. Beyond phobias, VR is also proving effective in treating post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Traditional PTSD therapy often involves revisiting traumatic memories in a safe environment, a process known as trauma re-exposure. Yet for many, this mental journey is extremely challenging. VR can create a virtual environment that simulates the context of the traumatic event, allowing the individual to confront their memories within a structured, secure space while fully supported by a therapist. For veterans, for instance, VR environments can recreate certain sounds, visuals, and atmospheres of combat zones, giving patients the opportunity to process trauma in a controlled setting. The immersive experience can help them confront deeply rooted anxieties and begin the journey toward healing. And because VR environments can be precisely calibrated, the therapist can gradually increase the intensity of the exposure based on the patient's comfort level, making the re-exposure process both safer and more manageable. Research has shown that VR therapy for PTSD can lead to measurable reductions in symptoms. Patients not only report feeling more prepared to manage their triggers but often experience a significant increase in overall emotional resilience. These VR sessions are not about reliving trauma in a destructive way. They're about reclaiming control over one's responses and emotions. Through this immersive technology, individuals can explore their trauma from a new, often empowering perspective. Augmented reality, enhancing real-life interactions. While VR creates entirely immersive environments, AR overlays digital elements onto the real world, blending virtual experiences with actual surroundings. This augmented experience is especially valuable for individuals dealing with social anxiety or conditions that benefit from practice in real-world settings. For instance, someone with social anxiety might use AR to simulate crowds or conversations, giving them the chance to rehearse social skills without the pressure of real interactions. Imagine a person who struggles with public speaking. Through an AR device, they could see a virtual audience seated around them while standing in their living room. This simulated audience provides a way to practice managing nerves, modulating voice, and sustaining eye contact in a low-stakes environment. With AR, therapy can occur in the environments where people need it most, building skills that are directly transferable to real life. AR has also found applications in mindfulness practices, helping individuals manage stress by overlaying soothing visualizations or breathing guides into their surroundings. Some apps, for example, project virtual nature scenes around the user, helping them focus on meditation exercises even in an urban setting. The technology can create pockets of calm, assisting users in managing stress wherever they are, which makes AR a practical tool for daily mental health maintenance. Limitations and ethical considerations. While VR and AR hold incredible promise for therapy, they also come with limitations and ethical concerns. First, these technologies can be costly, limiting access to patients who may benefit from them. Although prices for VR equipment are steadily dropping, there is still an accessibility gap that needs to be addressed to ensure equitable mental health care. Another consideration is the potential for over-reliance on technology. While VR and AR offer powerful tools, they should not replace the human aspects of therapy. Empathy, trust, and genuine human connection remain core to effective mental health treatment. Therapists must be careful to integrate VR and AR as complements to, rather than replacements for, traditional therapeutic approaches. Additionally, VR and AR experiences can sometimes lead to feelings of disorientation or cybersickness, where individuals experience symptoms akin to motion sickness. While these effects are typically temporary, they need to be managed to ensure that patients aren't deterred from continuing therapy. Ethically, there are also concerns about the handling of sensitive data collected during VR sessions. Patient interactions within virtual environments could reveal intimate details about their mental health, which, if mishandled, could lead to breaches of privacy. As with any technology in psychology, strict data protections and clear ethical guidelines are essential. A new realm for therapeutic innovation. VR and AR are fundamentally changing how individuals engage with therapy, offering safe, controlled, and highly customizable environments where they can confront fears, rehearse social interactions, or manage stress. The ability to create immersive and adaptable experiences makes these technologies ideal for a variety of mental health challenges, from phobias and trauma to social anxiety and mindfulness practice. As we move further into this tech-enhanced age of psychology, VR and AR will likely become increasingly integral to therapeutic practices. More research and advancements are inevitable, opening doors to new treatments and possibly democratizing access as the technology becomes more affordable. For now, VR and AR are already showing immense promise, offering a glimpse into a future where mental health care is as immersive and personalized as the technology allows. Chapter 4: Chatbots and Digital Therapists. In a world where mental health resources are often stretched thin, chatbots and digital therapists are stepping in to fill the gaps, providing scalable, on-demand support to millions. Imagine having a virtual assistant that's ready to help you work through a stressful moment, guide you through breathing exercises, or help reframe negative thoughts, all in real time at any hour of the day. This kind of accessibility and immediacy is transforming the mental health landscape, especially for individuals who might otherwise face long wait times or limited access to traditional therapy. While some might view chatbots as simple, automated tools, advancements in artificial intelligence are making these digital therapists increasingly sophisticated. These AI-driven systems can now recognize and respond to emotional cues, track user progress over time, and provide personalized guidance. Chatbots are not intended to replace human therapists, but they are designed to offer support during the in-between times, those critical moments when a person may need immediate assistance but doesn't have access to a therapist. They also offer a form of mental health triage, giving users a supportive resource while helping identify when a higher level of care might be necessary. The rise of digital therapy assistants. Digital therapy assistants, often built on machine learning algorithms and natural language processing (NLP), have come a long way from simple text-based systems. Some of the most popular mental health chatbots, such as Wobot and Wysa, engage users in conversational exchanges that feel natural and empathetic. These bots can simulate some aspects of human empathy, asking thoughtful follow-up questions, acknowledging feelings, and providing contextually relevant responses. Imagine someone feeling overwhelmed after a long day at work. They open the chatbot app and type, "I'm so stressed." The chatbot, recognizing this as an expression of emotional distress, might respond with a question like, "That sounds tough. Do you want to talk more about what's causing the stress?" The user is then gently guided through a series of questions and exercises that encourage reflection and offer practical suggestions for managing stress. This type of interaction can be grounding, helping users feel heard and supported, even if the listener is an AI. These chatbots aren't just passive responders. They're actively programmed to teach cognitive behavioral techniques, mindfulness practices, and other therapeutic approaches. Through guided exercises and personalized recommendations, users can learn coping skills that they can apply outside the chatbot's digital walls. For instance, someone struggling with negative self-talk might be guided through cognitive restructuring exercises, helping them challenge and reframe harmful thoughts. While simple, these techniques can provide valuable support, offering users a sense of agency and control over their mental health. The impact of digital therapy on accessibility and inclusivity. One of the most significant advantages of digital therapy assistants is their accessibility. Traditional mental health resources are often limited by geographic and economic barriers, and even in places where mental health care is widely available, demand often exceeds supply. Chatbots offer an alternative that is available anytime and anywhere, breaking down some of these barriers to mental health support. This is especially valuable for individuals in rural or underserved areas where mental health professionals may be scarce. Moreover, these digital assistants provide a level of anonymity that can reduce the stigma often associated with seeking mental health care. For many, the prospect of visiting a therapist's office may feel intimidating or uncomfortable. Chatbots offer a safe space for individuals to engage with mental health resources without the pressure of face-to-face interactions. The sense of privacy and discretion can be particularly appealing for young people and others who may be hesitant to seek traditional forms of therapy. Inclusivity is also improved through multilingual capabilities. Many chatbots offer support in multiple languages, extending their reach to diverse populations. This feature is especially valuable in multicultural societies, where language can often be a barrier to accessing quality mental health care. By bridging this gap, digital therapy assistants make mental health resources more inclusive and accessible to a broader audience. Limitations and challenges of digital therapy. While the benefits of digital therapists are substantial, they come with notable limitations. Chatbots, despite advances in AI, are not humans. They lack the depth of empathy, the nuanced understanding of emotions, and the complex judgment that a human therapist provides. For individuals with severe mental health conditions or those dealing with complex traumas, digital therapy may not be sufficient. Chatbots can guide users through a low to moderate level of distress but are not equipped to handle crises or deep emotional needs that require professional human intervention. Accuracy and quality of responses are also concerns. Chatbots rely on algorithms that, while sophisticated, are still limited by the data used to train them. If not carefully managed, chatbots may occasionally provide advice that's generic, outdated, or even inappropriate for a particular individual. For example, a user expressing high levels of distress may receive a response intended for general stress management, potentially leaving them feeling misunderstood or unsupported. Ensuring the effectiveness of these digital therapists requires continuous monitoring, data updates, and improvements. Another important consideration is data privacy. Chatbots gather sensitive information that users may share during their conversations, such as descriptions of their emotions, relationships, and personal struggles. While many chatbot providers prioritize security and data protection, there is always a risk associated with storing sensitive data digitally. Privacy breaches could expose vulnerable information, potentially leading to serious consequences for users. As digital therapy becomes more mainstream, stringent privacy standards and transparent data policies will be essential to protect user confidentiality. Ethical considerations. Can AI replace human connection? The potential of digital therapy raises an ethical question central to the field of psychology. Can technology truly replace human connection? While chatbots provide immediate support, they lack the authentic empathy that comes from human understanding. Therapy is not just about advice or exercises, it's about feeling seen, heard, and understood by another person. The therapeutic alliance, a bond between therapist and client, is a powerful component of traditional therapy and plays a significant role in the healing process. No matter how advanced a chatbot becomes, it cannot replicate this deeply human connection. Moreover, there's a risk that the convenience of digital therapy might lead some individuals to rely solely on chatbots instead of seeking professional help when it's genuinely needed. While these tools are excellent for supplementing mental health support, they are not a replacement for professional therapy, especially for individuals with complex mental health needs. Ethically, the role of AI in mental health care must be carefully framed. Digital therapy assistants should be positioned as supportive resources, not as substitutes for professional help. Transparency is essential. Users need to understand that they're interacting with a program rather than a person and be encouraged to seek professional guidance when necessary. Additionally, ensuring that these tools are inclusive, accessible, and equitable will be crucial as digital therapy continues to expand. The future of digital therapy and its role in mental health. Despite their limitations, chatbots and digital therapists represent an exciting future for mental health care. Their accessibility and scalability make them uniquely positioned to address mental health needs at a broad scale, offering support to millions of people who might otherwise go without. By improving AI capabilities, expanding language and cultural sensitivity, and maintaining rigorous ethical standards, digital therapy can play a significant role in promoting mental wellness worldwide. In the years to come, digital therapy will likely grow more sophisticated, combining advancements in AI with enhanced personalization and sensitivity to individual needs. Chatbots may become integrated into hybrid care models, working alongside human therapists to provide a layered approach to mental health support. For instance, a person might use a chatbot for daily reflections and coping exercises while attending weekly therapy sessions with a human therapist who reviews the chatbot data for additional context. This blend of technology and human touch offers an ideal balance, leveraging the strengths of both AI and human understanding. As we look forward, digital therapists and chatbots can play a supportive role in the mental health ecosystem, particularly in areas with limited resources or high demand. They represent a new, flexible option in the evolving landscape of mental health care, promising greater accessibility while highlighting the irreplaceable value of human empathy and expertise. Chapter 5: Big Data and Predictive Analytics in Mental Health. In recent years, big data and predictive analytics have begun to reshape industries from finance to healthcare, and psychology is no exception. By analyzing vast amounts of behavioral and biological data, predictive analytics has the potential to transform mental health care from a traditionally reactive field, where issues are addressed after symptoms arise, to a proactive one, where patterns are recognized early, and intervention can begin before problems fully manifest. This chapter explores how big data is enhancing our understanding of mental health trends, improving personalized care, and even predicting individual crises before they happen. The promise of predictive analytics in mental health. Predictive analytics involves analyzing large datasets to identify patterns that can forecast future outcomes. In mental health, this means using data from diverse sources, such as electronic health records, social media activity, and even smartphone usage patterns, to predict the likelihood of conditions like depression, anxiety, and bipolar disorder. Imagine a system that recognizes patterns in a person's digital behaviors and warns them or their therapist about potential mood shifts or stress spikes. With predictive analytics, this is no longer science fiction but a rapidly advancing reality. The goal is not to replace human insight but to enhance it. Traditional mental health assessments rely heavily on self-reporting and clinician observations, both of which, while valuable, are subject to bias and can miss subtle warning signs. Big data allows psychologists to go beyond the observable by examining an individual's behaviors and physiological signals in context. For instance, patterns of decreased communication, reduced activity levels, or disrupted sleep cycles, which might individually seem insignificant, can collectively signal an early sign of depressive episodes. When analyzed in aggregate, such data points reveal connections that a therapist may otherwise overlook. How big data is collected in mental health. Data collection in mental health can take various forms, each adding a piece to the puzzle. Electronic health records (EHRs) are a primary data source, compiling an individual's mental health history, medication records, treatment plans, and responses to past interventions. EHRs, when analyzed at scale, can help researchers and clinicians identify commonalities across thousands of cases, uncovering risk factors that may predispose individuals to specific conditions. Beyond clinical data, personal devices like smartphones and wearables have opened up entirely new avenues for data collection. Smartphones, for example, can track app usage, communication patterns, location data, and even speech and typing habits, all of which may correlate with mental health states. Wearable devices, meanwhile, can record physiological data like heart rate, sleep patterns, and physical activity levels, which are often linked to mental health. By monitoring these metrics, predictive systems can flag potential issues, such as prolonged low activity indicating possible depression or disrupted sleep cycles signaling anxiety. Social media data offers another layer of insight. Language analysis tools can detect changes in tone, word choice, and sentiment in posts, all of which may serve as early indicators of shifts in mental health. For example, an increase in the use of negative language, isolation-themed posts, or irregular posting patterns might signal a deterioration in mental well-being. While this data source is controversial due to privacy concerns, it provides valuable clues about individuals' mental health states, particularly when monitored with user consent. Real-world applications of predictive analytics in mental health. In practice, predictive analytics is already being tested in mental health settings, with some promising results. For instance, several universities are using predictive systems to monitor student well-being, particularly during high-stress periods such as exams. Through a combination of mobile app usage patterns, social media sentiment, and sleep tracking, these systems identify students at high risk for anxiety or depression and connect them with campus counseling resources. Early intervention programs like these not only help students get the support they need but also provide insights into the broader student population's mental health trends, helping universities adapt their mental health services accordingly. Predictive analytics is also being used in crisis prevention. Several mental health organizations now use algorithms to identify high-risk individuals based on social media activity and app usage. For example, certain platforms analyze data to detect when individuals may be at heightened risk for self-harm or suicide, offering an opportunity for crisis intervention. By flagging risky behaviors and alerting the individual or their caregivers, these tools can play a potentially life-saving role, especially in populations where mental health resources are limited or hard to access. In clinical settings, predictive analytics aids in personalized care. Therapists are increasingly able to access real-time insights into their clients' daily lives, observing patterns that might otherwise remain hidden. By receiving alerts when a patient shows signs of distress, therapists can intervene proactively, potentially adjusting treatment plans or scheduling check-ins when they're most needed. Such precision in care allows mental health professionals to work more effectively, focusing their time and energy where it can make the most impact. Ethical and privacy considerations in mental health data collection. While the benefits of big data in mental health are considerable, they come with significant ethical and privacy concerns. Mental health data is deeply personal, and the collection and analysis of such data must be handled with care. In a field where trust is fundamental, patients must be assured that their information is being used responsibly and stored securely. Consent is a critical factor, as individuals should be fully informed about how their data will be used and have the option to opt out if they choose. Additionally, there is a risk of over-reliance on algorithms in mental health care. Predictive systems are powerful but not infallible. They are based on correlations rather than causations, which means that a flagged pattern does not necessarily indicate a mental health crisis. False positives, or equally concerning false negatives, could lead to unnecessary interventions or missed opportunities for assistance. Thus, predictive analytics should serve as a supplementary tool rather than a definitive diagnostic measure, with human oversight to ensure that decisions are made thoughtfully and contextually. Bias in data is another concern. If predictive models are trained on data that primarily represents certain demographics, they may not perform accurately for underrepresented groups. For example, a model trained largely on Western data might miss culturally specific expressions of distress found in other populations. Ensuring that these models are inclusive and equitable is crucial for preventing misdiagnosis and promoting fair mental health treatment. The future of predictive mental health care. Predictive analytics represents a major leap forward in mental health care, shifting the field towards proactive, preventive approaches. With continued advancements in AI, data integration and privacy safeguards, the potential for personalized, anticipatory mental health care is enormous. As predictive systems evolve, they may soon be able to offer real-time, adaptive interventions, automatically adjusting treatment recommendations based on daily changes in mood, activity, or stress levels. Imagine a future where individuals have access to mental health dashboards, where they can view personalized insights and receive tailored wellness suggestions in real time. Just as fitness apps track physical health, mental health dashboards could provide users with snapshots of their emotional well-being, helping them make informed decisions about their mental health. Such tools would empower individuals to take an active role in their wellness, fostering a preventive approach to mental health care. In clinical contexts, predictive analytics could streamline treatment planning, matching patients with the most effective therapies based on their unique data profiles. For example, a person with anxiety might be matched with cognitive behavioral therapy if their data indicates a high likelihood of success with this approach. This precision reduces the trial and error aspect of mental health treatment, making the process more efficient and patient-centered. However, the future of predictive mental health care will depend on the successful balance of innovation and ethics. Transparency, consent, and strict privacy protocols will remain essential as we navigate this new landscape. Predictive analytics offers the mental health field a transformative tool, but its implementation must be thoughtful and considerate, ensuring that the technology serves as a support, rather than a replacement, for the human aspects of mental health care. Chapter 6. Neurotechnology and Brain-Computer Interfaces. Imagine a future where brainwaves can be read and interpreted in real time to understand emotions or even diagnose mental health conditions. Neurotechnology, once confined to science fiction, is bringing us closer to that reality with advancements in brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, neurofeedback, and other brain mapping technologies. These tools are beginning to transform our understanding of the brain and hold immense potential for the field of psychology, particularly in treating disorders like depression, anxiety, and even neurodevelopmental conditions. In this chapter, we explore how neurotechnology is unlocking the brain's mysteries and redefining the boundaries of mental health care. Understanding neurotechnology and brain-computer interfaces. At its core, neurotechnology refers to any tool or technique that interacts directly with the nervous system to monitor, understand, or influence brain activity. Brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, are one of the most significant developments in this area. These interfaces link the brain with external devices, allowing users to control computers or machines using their thoughts. Originally developed to help individuals with severe disabilities, BCIs are now being explored as therapeutic tools in mental health. For instance, a BCI can measure brainwave activity to detect emotional states. In a mental health setting, this could mean tracking a patient's brainwave patterns to identify periods of heightened stress, anxiety, or even depressive episodes. Neurofeedback, a type of BCI-based therapy, involves visualizing one's brainwave activity in real time to help regulate emotions. During a neurofeedback session, a patient wears a headset that monitors their brainwaves. When they're able to maintain a calm, focused state, the device provides positive feedback, such as playing soothing music or lighting up a screen, encouraging the brain to repeat these patterns. Over time, neurofeedback trains the brain to self-regulate, providing a natural approach to managing symptoms of mental health conditions. Neurofeedback and its impact on mental health. Neurofeedback has shown promising results in treating anxiety, ADHD, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Traditional therapy relies on verbal communication and behavioral techniques, but neurofeedback goes straight to the source, the brain's electrical patterns. In a neurofeedback session, individuals can see how their brains react to certain stimuli or stressors, learning to control these reactions over time. Consider an individual struggling with anxiety. In a traditional therapy session, they might talk through their anxious thoughts and learn cognitive techniques to manage them. But neurofeedback offers an additional layer of support, showing the person in real time how their brain responds to anxiety-provoking situations. By recognizing these responses and receiving immediate feedback when they achieve calm, patients gain a sense of control over their emotions that goes beyond cognitive strategies alone. In ADHD treatment, neurofeedback has been particularly valuable. By reinforcing focus-related brainwave patterns, neurofeedback provides a non-invasive alternative to medication. For many children and adults with ADHD, this offers a way to improve focus and self-regulation without the side effects often associated with pharmacological treatments. Although neurofeedback is still an emerging treatment and is not without limitations, its potential for helping individuals gain control over their cognitive and emotional responses has opened new avenues in mental health care. Brain stimulation and mood regulation. Another groundbreaking area of neurotechnology is brain stimulation, which involves sending mild electrical impulses to specific brain regions to alter activity. Transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS, for example, uses magnetic fields to stimulate neurons in targeted areas of the brain. Initially approved for treating depression, TMS is now being explored for a range of mental health disorders, including anxiety and PTSD. By stimulating areas associated with mood regulation, TMS can help reset the brain's activity patterns, offering relief from symptoms where traditional treatments have failed. Deep brain stimulation, DBS, a more invasive approach involves surgically implanting electrodes in the brain to target specific regions directly. DBS is primarily used for severe neurological conditions like Parkinson's disease but has shown potential in treating certain mental health conditions, particularly severe cases of obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, that are resistant to other treatments. Although DBS is far from becoming a common mental health treatment, it highlights the potential of targeted brain stimulation to address disorders that are deeply rooted in brain function. Emerging research also explores non-invasive brain stimulation techniques, such as transcranial direct current stimulation, TDCS, which involves applying a mild electrical current to the scalp. TDCS is being studied as a potential treatment for depression, anxiety, and other mental health conditions, as it appears to gently alter brain activity without the need for invasive procedures. The future of brain stimulation could include wearable devices that enable people to regulate their mood or focus on demand, providing ongoing mental health support in real-life settings. Ethical considerations of neurotechnology and mental health. As with any powerful technology, neurotechnology in mental health care raises essential ethical questions. Perhaps the most pressing is the issue of consent and autonomy. Neurotechnologies that can alter brain function, especially invasive ones like DBS, bring up concerns about patient autonomy and identity. When we intervene directly in the brain's activity, are we at risk of changing aspects of a person's personality, or even their sense of self? It's a philosophical question as much as a medical one, and one that demands careful consideration. Privacy is another critical issue. Neurotechnology captures incredibly personal data about brain function and mental states. Who owns this data and how should it be protected? The ability to monitor mental states in real time could, in theory, be misused, leading to scenarios where individuals' moods, stress levels, or even thought patterns are surveilled without their consent. For neurotechnology to gain widespread acceptance, robust privacy safeguards are essential, ensuring that personal data remains protected and is used solely for therapeutic purposes. Another concern is accessibility. As neurotechnologies are often costly and require specialized facilities and expertise, there's a risk that these advancements will primarily benefit affluent populations, exacerbating existing disparities in mental health care. To prevent this, it's crucial that innovations in neurotechnology eventually become affordable and widely available, ensuring that they benefit society as a whole, not just a privileged few. The future of neurotechnology in mental health. The potential of neurotechnology to enhance mental health care is vast. Future advancements may allow for wearable neurodevices that monitor emotional states, providing real-time feedback or even adjusting activity in targeted brain regions to help individuals maintain emotional stability. This could revolutionize how we approach daily mental health maintenance, offering people tools to manage mood and focus on demand. As brain-computer interfaces become more advanced, the line between human cognition and machine assistance may blur. Imagine a BCI that helps individuals with depression by boosting focus and motivation on difficult days, or a neurofeedback device that adjusts to deliver calming stimuli during moments of stress. Such developments would provide a level of support that today feels futuristic, allowing individuals to tailor their mental health care to their needs dynamically. However, as neurotechnology moves forward, it's critical to remain mindful of the ethical implications and to establish frameworks that prioritize patient welfare, autonomy, and privacy. As with any new frontier in mental health care, the promise of neurotechnology must be balanced with caution, ensuring that these powerful tools are used responsibly and equitably. Neurotechnology and brain-computer interfaces are set to become significant components of mental health treatment, offering insights and interventions that go beyond what's possible with traditional therapy alone. Yet, they also remind us of the brain's complexity and the importance of respecting its autonomy. By integrating neurotechnology with compassionate, patient-centered care, we can unlock new possibilities for supporting mental wellness without compromising the fundamental values of psychology. Chapter 7: Ethical and Privacy Challenges in Tech-Based Psychology. The integration of artificial intelligence, big data, and neurotechnology into mental health care is redefining how we understand, diagnose, and treat psychological conditions. However, with these innovations come complex ethical and privacy considerations that psychologists, technologists, and society at large must address. From data security and informed consent to potential biases in AI algorithms, this chapter delves into the responsibilities and dilemmas that arise as technology becomes more deeply woven into mental health care. Privacy concerns in mental health technology. Mental health information is among the most sensitive types of data a person can share. In the digital age, therapy sessions, diagnostic results, and even personal interactions with digital mental health tools can generate a substantial amount of data. AI-based therapy apps, neurofeedback devices, and wearable monitors each collect unique insights into users' emotional and physiological states, creating a vast database of personal information. This data can provide life-changing insights, but if mishandled, it also poses significant privacy risks. Consider an individual using a mental health app that monitors their moods, sleep patterns, and social interactions. If this information were to fall into the wrong hands, say through a data breach, it could lead to exploitation, discrimination, or social stigma. Mental health data could theoretically be misused by employers, insurers, or even advertisers to make judgments about an individual's stability, habits, or personality. Protecting such sensitive information requires a high standard of data security, with encryption, secure storage, and strict access controls. Without robust safeguards, the risk of exposing deeply personal aspects of individuals' lives grows as technology advances. To protect user privacy, mental health tech companies must be transparent about their data practices. Users need to know exactly what data is being collected, how it will be used, and with whom it may be shared. Clear, user-friendly consent processes are essential. People should feel fully informed about their choices and empowered to opt out of certain data collection if they wish. Additionally, mental health platforms should adopt anonymization practices, ensuring that data is stripped of identifying information whenever possible. Informed consent and autonomy. As technology-based treatments grow more advanced, the issue of informed consent becomes even more critical. When people engage with AI-driven mental health tools or participate in neurofeedback therapy, they should fully understand what these treatments entail, how they work, and the potential risks involved. Informed consent goes beyond simply signing a digital agreement. It requires that individuals are educated about the technology they're engaging with, particularly when it involves complex systems like predictive analytics or brain stimulation. In neurofeedback, for example, individuals need to know that while the technology can help regulate their brain activity, the outcomes may vary and cannot guarantee a specific level of emotional control. Similarly, those using AI chatbots should be aware that they're interacting with an algorithm, not a human therapist, and that there may be limits to the chatbot's ability to respond empathetically or in-depth. Understanding these limitations is crucial for managing expectations and ensuring that people feel fully autonomous in their therapeutic choices. Another aspect of autonomy involves giving users control over their data. For technology to truly benefit mental health care, individuals need the option to manage their data actively. This could mean having the ability to delete personal records, review data collected on their behaviors, or choose how long their information is stored. Informed consent should be a continuous process, with users able to revisit and update their data sharing preferences as their relationship with the technology evolves. Algorithmic bias and fairness. AI-driven mental health tools are only as good as the data used to train them. If the training data lacks diversity, the algorithms may fail to provide accurate insights or effective support for individuals from underrepresented groups. This is known as algorithmic bias, and it can lead to significant disparities in mental health care, where certain populations receive suboptimal or even harmful advice due to inherent biases in the system. For instance, an AI model trained predominantly on Western data might struggle to accurately assess the mental health of individuals from non-Western backgrounds, where expressions of distress or social norms differ. Similarly, if a predictive analytics tool is built on data that underrepresents certain socioeconomic or ethnic groups, its recommendations may be less effective or even counterproductive for individuals from these groups. This lack of inclusivity not only undermines the effectiveness of the technology but can also exacerbate health disparities, leading to an inequitable mental health system. To mitigate algorithmic bias, developers must prioritize diverse datasets, ensuring that AI models are trained on data that represents a broad range of demographics, cultures, and mental health conditions. Continuous testing and adjustment of these models are necessary to identify and address potential biases. Moreover, creating diverse development teams that include mental health professionals and individuals from varied backgrounds can provide perspectives that help shape more inclusive algorithms. The ethics of predictive analytics and surveillance. Predictive analytics, which uses big data to anticipate mental health conditions or crises, offers transformative potential for early intervention. However, it also introduces ethical questions about surveillance and autonomy. When mental health platforms use data from wearable devices, smartphones, or social media to track a person's mood or stress levels, they're engaging in a form of surveillance that, while beneficial, may feel invasive to some users. Imagine a situation where a mental health app notices signs of depressive behavior in a user and sends a notification suggesting they seek help. For some, this proactive alert could be a life-saving intervention. For others, it might feel intrusive or even triggering, particularly if they weren't aware that their data was being monitored so closely. Here, transparency is vital. Users should be informed upfront about how their data is being used and should have the ability to adjust their privacy settings to meet their comfort level. Another ethical dilemma arises in the potential for predictive analytics to create self-fulfilling prophecies. If an algorithm predicts that an individual is at high risk for anxiety, the person might begin to perceive themselves as anxious, influencing their behavior and mindset. While predictive analytics can offer helpful insights, it's essential to remember that these predictions are probabilistic, not deterministic. Ensuring that individuals have a clear understanding of this distinction can prevent undue stress or misinterpretation of their mental health. Balancing innovation with ethical responsibility. In many ways, the ethical challenges of technology and mental health care are a balancing act. On one hand, AI, big data, and neurotechnology offer unparalleled opportunities for advancing mental health treatment, making it more accessible, personalized, and preventive. On the other hand, they require a high degree of caution, as the stakes in mental health care are uniquely high. Missteps can have severe consequences, impacting an individual's well-being, self-perception, and trust in mental health services. To ensure ethical responsibility, mental health tech companies and practitioners should adopt a proactive approach to ethical considerations. This could mean forming ethical review boards, consulting with privacy experts, and involving mental health professionals at every stage of development. These steps can help create a framework where ethical standards evolve in parallel with technological advancements, ensuring that innovations in mental health care respect individuals' rights and well-being. One promising development in this area is the move toward ethical AI guidelines, established by professional organizations and regulatory bodies. These guidelines emphasize principles like transparency, accountability, inclusivity, and privacy, serving as a roadmap for developers and practitioners alike. As the mental health field adopts these standards, we move closer to a future where technology enhances care without compromising ethical integrity. The role of regulation and public trust. Regulation will play a crucial role in addressing the ethical and privacy challenges in tech-based psychology. Governments and professional organizations have a responsibility to establish standards that protect users and hold companies accountable. In Europe, for example, the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR) has set a high standard for data privacy, requiring that companies clearly outline how they collect and use personal information. Similar standards could be applied to mental health technologies, mandating strict data protection protocols and transparency around predictive algorithms. For technology-based mental health care to succeed, it must also foster public trust. This requires open communication about how data is handled, what users can expect from AI-driven therapies, and how neurotechnology operates. The more people understand the technology, the more likely they are to use it confidently, knowing that their privacy and autonomy are respected. A path forward. Ethical and privacy challenges are inevitable in any field where technology intersects with deeply personal aspects of human life. But by approaching these challenges thoughtfully, tech-based psychology can forge a path that combines innovation with respect for individual rights. As mental health technology continues to develop, creating frameworks that prioritize transparency, consent, data protection, and inclusivity will be essential. The future of mental health care is rich with possibilities, but it also demands accountability. By upholding ethical standards, the field of tech-based psychology can create tools that truly benefit users, enhancing mental health care while preserving the trust, privacy, and autonomy that are fundamental to the therapeutic experience. Chapter 8: AI and Mental Health Accessibility and Equity. Technology has the potential to bridge gaps in mental health care, providing support to those who might otherwise be left behind. As AI-driven solutions expand, so does the possibility of reaching underserved communities, breaking down barriers related to cost, stigma, and geography. However, the journey toward equitable mental health care is complex, and while technology can be a powerful ally, it also brings challenges that require thoughtful navigation. This chapter explores how AI is improving accessibility and equity in mental health care, along with the obstacles that need to be addressed to create a truly inclusive future. Expanding access through AI-driven tools. One of the primary ways AI is increasing accessibility is by making mental health resources more affordable and widely available. Traditional therapy can be costly, and wait times for professional care often stretch into months. AI-based tools like chatbots and mental health apps offer a scalable alternative, providing support on demand without the high costs associated with one-on-one therapy. For those who may lack insurance or live in regions with limited mental health professionals, these tools represent a valuable, and sometimes only, form of support. Consider a rural area where the nearest mental health provider is hours away, or a lower-income community where therapy might be considered a luxury. In these contexts, A free or low-cost AI-powered app could provide coping strategies, mood tracking, and mental health education, giving individuals tools they would not otherwise have access to. Furthermore, many AI-driven mental health apps operate 24/7, making support available anytime, not just during traditional office hours. This can be a critical factor for individuals who may need support during off hours or are balancing work and family responsibilities that make regular appointments challenging. AI's potential to expand access isn't limited to affordability and convenience. It also extends to language and cultural accessibility. Many mental health platforms now offer support in multiple languages, providing individuals who are non-native speakers with resources in their preferred language. By adapting AI systems to recognize and respond to culturally specific expressions of distress, these tools can deliver more personalized care, even across different linguistic and cultural backgrounds. This inclusivity helps create a sense of comfort and understanding for users who might not feel represented in traditional mental health settings. Reducing stigma with anonymity and privacy. Stigma remains a significant barrier to seeking mental health care. For many individuals, particularly in communities where mental health issues are viewed as signs of weakness or personal failure, the fear of judgment can prevent them from reaching out for help. AI-driven tools provide a valuable alternative, allowing users to seek support anonymously, without the need to disclose their struggles in a public or clinical setting. For instance, AI chatbots like Wobot or Wysa allow users to express their emotions, discuss personal challenges, and work through therapeutic exercises without revealing their identity. This anonymity can help reduce stigma and empower individuals to seek help sooner, rather than waiting until their issues become unmanageable. Many users find comfort in the privacy that AI-driven mental health tools offer, allowing them to explore their mental health needs without the social pressure they might feel in traditional settings. However, while AI offers a sense of anonymity, it also raises questions about data privacy, especially in communities where mistrust in technology runs high. To genuinely reduce stigma and foster trust, tech companies must ensure robust data security and transparent practices, making it clear that users' information is protected and will not be shared without consent. As privacy concerns are addressed, AI tools can further diminish stigma by making mental health care feel safe, private, and free from judgment. Overcoming geographic and cultural barriers. Geographic location has long been a barrier to mental health care. Rural and remote areas often lack sufficient mental health resources, with residents needing to travel significant distances for care. AI-driven platforms mitigate this challenge by offering virtual care that requires only an internet connection. Individuals can access a range of mental health resources from their homes, whether through teletherapy, digital support groups, or AI-powered chatbots. For many, this flexibility makes mental health care not only more accessible but also more appealing, as it eliminates the need to arrange transportation or time off work. Furthermore, AI's adaptability to cultural contexts has opened new pathways for mental health care in diverse communities. Mental health challenges manifest differently across cultures, and traditional Western models of therapy may not resonate universally. AI tools that integrate cultural sensitivity can provide more effective support by recognizing and respecting these differences. For example, an AI system designed for users in an East Asian context might incorporate collectivist values, focusing on family and community well-being, while a system for users in individualistic cultures may emphasize personal empowerment and self-care. Tailoring AI to diverse cultural frameworks can help break down mental health care barriers, fostering inclusivity and making support relevant to each user's context. Cultural sensitivity in AI also includes recognizing how individuals express distress. For example, in some cultures, mental health issues are more likely to be expressed as physical symptoms, such as fatigue or stomach issues, rather than as emotional complaints. An AI system that is culturally aware can interpret these expressions more accurately, providing support that resonates with the user's understanding of their condition. Challenges in achieving true equity. While AI holds promise for improving mental health accessibility, achieving true equity is not without challenges. One major issue is the digital divide. the disparity in internet access and digital literacy between different socioeconomic groups. Even as AI-based mental health tools become more available, they remain out of reach for those who lack consistent access to smartphones, computers, or high-speed internet. For individuals in economically disadvantaged areas or older populations less familiar with digital technology, these tools may not be a viable option. Bridging this digital gap requires addressing broader social inequalities, such as improving internet infrastructure and offering digital literacy programs to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to benefit from AI-driven mental health resources. Another significant challenge is ensuring that AI systems are free from bias. Machine learning algorithms often reflect the data used to train them, and if these datasets are skewed towards certain demographics, the resulting tools may not be effective for all populations. For instance, an AI tool trained primarily on data from Western, urban populations may struggle to understand or accurately respond to the needs of users from rural or non-Western backgrounds. To address this, developers must prioritize diverse datasets and continuously refine their models to ensure they are inclusive of all demographic groups. Equity in mental health care requires technology that works equally well for everyone regardless of their background. Language access is another area where AI can fall short. While many mental health platforms are multilingual, language options are often limited, and translations may not capture the nuances of culturally specific expressions. For AI to be truly inclusive, it must go beyond basic translation, incorporating an understanding of culturally relevant idioms, beliefs, and expressions of mental health. This requires not only linguistic diversity in AI development but also collaboration with cultural experts who can guide the design of tools that resonate across different cultural contexts. Building a more equitable future with AI in mental health. Creating an equitable future for AI in mental health care involves more than making technology available. It requires designing systems that understand and adapt to the diverse needs of users. This means investing in accessible infrastructure, diversifying datasets, and engaging with communities to understand how mental health manifests across cultures. By actively seeking to remove barriers and promote inclusivity, AI can play a significant role in democratizing mental health care. The future could include AI systems that provide tiered support, offering low-cost or free services for basic mental health needs and directing users to human therapists for more intensive care. This tiered approach would ensure that everyone has access to some level of support while preserving resources for those with greater needs. AI can also serve as a bridge, identifying individuals who may require professional help and connecting them with affordable options or community resources. Furthermore, fostering collaboration between AI developers, mental health professionals, and underserved communities is essential. By listening to and addressing the specific concerns of these groups, mental health tech companies can create tools that genuinely reflect the needs and values of the populations they aim to serve. This approach not only improves accessibility but also builds trust, which is fundamental for effective mental health care. The potential for global mental health equity. AI's capacity to democratize mental health care extends beyond national borders. In low and middle-income countries, where access to mental health services is often scarce, AI-driven tools have the potential to address a critical shortage of resources. With mobile penetration increasing worldwide, even regions with limited healthcare infrastructure may benefit from AI-based support. These tools could provide initial screenings, psychoeducation, and coping strategies to individuals who have never had access to mental health care, gradually creating a foundation for global mental health equity. However, this global approach requires sensitivity to local contexts. Solutions developed in high-income countries may not be directly applicable to low-income regions, where cultural beliefs, social norms, and economic realities differ. Partnering with local mental health experts and community leaders will be essential to creating technology that respects and reflects these differences, ensuring that AI-driven mental health tools are genuinely relevant and beneficial to all. Looking ahead, toward a more inclusive mental health future. The potential for AI to make mental health care accessible and equitable is immense. With deliberate efforts to bridge digital divides, remove cultural barriers, and ensure data diversity, technology can create a world where mental health support is available to all, regardless of income, geography, or background. This vision of inclusivity, however, requires ongoing commitment from developers, policymakers, and mental health professionals alike. As we move forward, the goal is not only to develop AI tools that support mental health but to do so in ways that honor the diversity of human experience. By addressing the structural inequities that currently limit access to care, AI can contribute to a more compassionate and just mental health landscape. Chapter 9. The Role of Wearable Tech in Monitoring Mental Health. Wearable technology has transformed how we monitor our health, from tracking steps and sleep to monitoring heart rates and oxygen levels. But now, these devices are venturing into an even more complex domain: mental health. Equipped with sensors that track physiological markers associated with mood, stress, and anxiety, wearables offer a new level of insight into mental well-being. They are opening up possibilities for real-time mental health monitoring, personalized support, and data-driven insights that could transform mental health care. This chapter explores how wearables are changing the landscape of mental health, the science behind their data collection, and the potential they hold for providing continuous, accessible support. How wearable devices track mental health indicators. The principle behind wearable mental health technology is simple: our bodies reflect our mental states. When we're stressed, for instance, our heart rate rises, our skin may become more conductive to sweat, and our sleep can be disrupted. By measuring these physiological responses, wearable devices can infer changes in our emotional well-being. Most wearable devices used for mental health tracking focus on several key indicators. Heart rate variability, HRV, a measure of the variation in time between each heartbeat. HRV is closely linked to the body's stress response. A low HRV is often associated with higher stress levels, while a high HRV indicates relaxation and resilience. Electrodermal activity, EDA, this measures the skin's conductance level, which increases when we sweat. Sudden spikes in EDA can signal stress, anxiety, or emotional arousal. Sleep patterns. Poor or inconsistent sleep is both a symptom and a contributor to mental health conditions. Wearable devices track sleep stages, interruptions, and duration, providing insights into the user's mental health status. Physical activity and movement. Wearables track daily activity and exercise, both of which are linked to mental health. Reduced physical activity, for instance, is often associated with depressive states. More advanced devices, such as those that include blood oxygen sensors or even EEG, electroencephalogram, sensors, are pushing the boundaries further. EEG-enabled wearables, for example, can measure brain wave activity, offering even more precise insights into emotional and cognitive states. Real-time monitoring and immediate feedback. One of the most promising aspects of wearable tech in mental health is its capacity for real-time monitoring and feedback. Unlike traditional mental health assessments, which rely on periodic check-ins, wearables provide continuous data. This allows individuals and, if consented to, their healthcare providers, to detect mental health changes as they happen. Imagine a scenario where a wearable detects signs of heightened stress in real time, perhaps through increased heart rate variability and a sudden spike in electrodermal activity. With these cues, the device could send a gentle alert to the user, suggesting that they take a break, try a breathing exercise, or go for a short walk to manage their stress. For individuals with anxiety or mood disorders, this form of immediate intervention can make a significant difference, providing support in critical moments when stress levels are elevated. Some devices take this further by integrating biofeedback features, where the device guides the user through exercises to improve their physical and mental state. For example, a device might monitor heart rate during a breathing exercise, giving feedback on the effectiveness of the technique in real time. This interactive experience helps individuals develop resilience and self-regulation skills, empowering them to manage their mental health independently. The role of wearables in personalized mental health care. Personalization is essential for effective mental health care, and wearables bring an unprecedented level of individualization to the table. By collecting continuous data on a person's physiological responses, wearables create a detailed picture of their unique mental health profile over time. Patterns emerge in how users respond to stress, what their sleep quality looks like under different circumstances, and how their activity levels affect their mood. These insights enable wearable devices to provide tailored advice based on each individual's specific needs. For example, if a device consistently detects that a user's HRV drops before stressful meetings, it might suggest a brief mindfulness exercise beforehand or encourage the user to block out time for relaxation after the event. Similarly, if poor sleep patterns are detected, the wearable could offer insights on improving sleep hygiene or adjusting the sleep environment. By helping users make data-driven adjustments, wearables foster a proactive approach to mental health care, where individuals can better understand and manage their unique triggers and responses. Moreover, wearable data can be shared with mental health professionals, giving them valuable information to tailor treatment. A therapist might review wearable data with a patient, observing patterns and using these insights to adapt their approach. This collaboration between user data and professional guidance creates a more informed and responsive mental health care experience, making treatment plans more effective and personalized. Wearables and early detection of mental health issues. Another promising application of wearable technology in mental health is early detection. Many mental health conditions, including depression and anxiety, develop gradually, with subtle signs that may go unnoticed until symptoms become severe. Wearables, with their constant monitoring capabilities, can pick up on these early warning signs. For instance, a consistent decline in physical activity, poor sleep, and low HRV over several weeks could indicate the onset of depressive symptoms. By flagging these patterns, a wearable device could alert the user or their mental health provider, allowing for early intervention before the condition worsens. Early detection is particularly valuable for individuals with a history of mental health challenges, enabling them to take preventive action based on objective data rather than waiting for symptoms to become obvious. While this type of detection isn't foolproof, it represents a major advancement in preventive mental health care. The ability to catch signs of a mental health issue early on could significantly improve outcomes, giving individuals the opportunity to adjust their habits or seek professional support before a crisis develops. In the future, wearable devices might even integrate predictive algorithms, where patterns in user data suggest potential mental health episodes, allowing for even earlier and more targeted interventions. Privacy and ethical concerns in mental health wearables. With wearable technology, privacy concerns are paramount. Mental health data is highly personal, and users must trust that their data will be protected and used responsibly. Wearable devices gather extensive data, often tracking not only physical states but also personal habits, sleep patterns, and daily routines. If improperly managed, this data could be vulnerable to breaches or misuse, potentially exposing sensitive aspects of an individual's life. To address these concerns, companies developing wearable tech for mental health must implement robust data security measures. Encryption, anonymization, and strict access controls are essential to protect user privacy. Additionally, users should have full transparency about what data is being collected, how it will be used, and with whom it might be shared. Consent is crucial. Users should have the option to choose which metrics they're comfortable sharing and the ability to delete their data if they wish. Another ethical consideration is the potential for wearables to create a sense of over-surveillance, where users feel constantly monitored. While real-time feedback can be beneficial, it may also increase anxiety for some individuals, especially if the device frequently detects and alerts them to stress indicators. To prevent this, wearable tech should include customizable alert settings, allowing users to adjust the frequency of notifications or turn them off entirely when needed. Wearables should enhance mental health care, not add to stress. The future of wearable technology in mental health. The future of mental health wearables is promising, with advancements likely to make these devices even more accurate, personalized, and user-friendly. Innovations in sensor technology could improve the precision of stress and mood monitoring, while artificial intelligence might enhance devices' ability to recognize and respond to subtle patterns in user data. The integration of wearables with other health devices and platforms may create a more holistic picture of well-being, linking mental and physical health in meaningful ways. We might also see wearables designed specifically for mental health, incorporating features such as neurofeedback, haptic feedback for relaxation, and even VR integration for immersive therapeutic experiences. Imagine a wearable that not only tracks your stress but provides real-time feedback in the form of soothing vibrations, guiding you through a calming routine whenever your stress markers increase. In addition to enhancing individual care, wearables have the potential to contribute to broader mental health research. With consent, anonymized wearable data could provide valuable insights into mental health trends across populations, helping researchers understand the effects of stress, sleep, and physical activity on mental well-being. By identifying common patterns, researchers could develop more effective mental health interventions and public health recommendations, ultimately benefiting society as a whole. A new era of empowered mental health care. Wearable technology brings us closer to a new era of mental health care, where individuals are empowered to monitor and manage their mental well-being in real time. These devices foster self-awareness, providing users with insights into their emotional patterns, triggers, and physiological responses. With personalized feedback and preventive capabilities, wearables offer an accessible, proactive approach to mental health support, complementing traditional therapy and making mental health care more immediate and interactive. However, realizing the full potential of mental health wearables will require balancing innovation with responsibility. Ensuring data privacy, giving users control over their data, and designing devices that respect individual preferences are essential to making these tools both effective and ethical. As wearable technology continues to evolve, it has the power to become a trusted companion in the journey toward mental well-being, promoting a more responsive and personalized approach to mental health care. Chapter 10: The Future of Psychology and Tech-Driven Innovations. As we stand at the intersection of psychology and technology, it's clear that the future holds unprecedented possibilities. Artificial intelligence, big data, neurotechnology, wearable devices, and virtual therapy are not just trends. They are the building blocks of a new era in mental health care. These advancements bring both exciting opportunities and profound ethical challenges, prompting us to rethink traditional approaches to mental wellness and the role of technology in our lives. This final chapter explores the future of tech-driven psychology, the innovations on the horizon, and the ethical compass that should guide us as we move forward. The vision for a tech-integrated mental health landscape. Imagine a future where mental health support is seamlessly integrated into daily life. Instead of relying solely on scheduled therapy appointments, individuals have access to personalized, continuous mental health resources, from AI chatbots available anytime to wearable devices that offer real-time insights into stress levels, sleep quality, and emotional fluctuations. Technology would act as both a supportive companion and a proactive tool, helping people build resilience, manage stress, and prevent mental health crises before they arise. In this vision, technology doesn't replace human therapists but complements them, providing tools that enhance care and make it more accessible. Therapists could leverage insights from wearable data, using patterns in heart rate variability, sleep cycles, and mood fluctuations to better understand and support their clients. Virtual and augmented reality would create immersive therapeutic environments, enabling users to confront fears, practice social skills, or experience calming settings in moments of stress. Imagine AI-driven diagnostics that use natural language processing and emotional recognition to detect early signs of mental health conditions, directing individuals to the right resources before symptoms escalate. AI could also facilitate mental health triage, determining the severity of symptoms and prioritizing cases that require immediate attention, thereby reducing wait times and increasing access to care. Emerging technologies and their potential impact. Several promising technologies are set to redefine mental health care further. Advanced brain-computer interfaces, BCIs. As BCIs evolve, they may enable direct communication between the brain and digital devices, opening possibilities for managing mental health through neurofeedback and even brain stimulation. In the future, BCIs could allow individuals to monitor and adjust their brainwave patterns, fostering emotional regulation and resilience. Predictive analytics for personalized care. With AI-powered predictive analytics, mental health care will become more preventive, not just reactive. By analyzing individual patterns over time, algorithms could predict when a person might experience a mental health episode and recommend preventive measures, like more sleep, meditation, or exercise, to mitigate the onset of symptoms. Emotionally intelligent AI. Future AI chatbots may become more attuned to subtle emotional cues, capable of responding with empathy and understanding. These emotionally intelligent systems could recognize shifts in tone, expression, and body language, providing a form of companionship that feels supportive and human. Integrated health ecosystems. Wearable devices, mental health apps, and telehealth platforms could eventually sync into an integrated ecosystem that combines physical and mental health data. This holistic view of health would empower individuals to see the interconnected effects of diet, sleep, exercise, and stress on their overall well-being. Augmented reality for social and skill-based therapy. Augmented reality could offer new forms of social practice and exposure therapy, allowing individuals with social anxiety, autism, or PTSD to navigate real-life situations with virtual guidance. This could make therapy more practical and relatable, translating therapeutic strategies directly into daily life. These emerging technologies hint at a future where mental health care is not just available when needed but embedded in our lives, anticipating and adapting to our unique needs. The role of ethical guidelines in shaping the future. While the potential of tech-driven psychology is vast, it must be pursued with a strong ethical framework. As we move forward, several key principles should guide the integration of technology in mental health care. 1. Privacy and data protection. Given the sensitive nature of mental health data, robust security measures are essential to protect users' privacy. Encryption, consent-based data sharing, and transparency about data use must be standard practices. Regulations like the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR) in Europe serve as a model, emphasizing data protection and individual rights. 2. Inclusivity and fairness. The data used to train AI models and predictive systems should reflect diverse populations, ensuring that algorithms are accurate and effective across different cultures, socioeconomic backgrounds, and demographic groups. Inclusive technology will help reduce health disparities, offering equitable care that serves everyone, not just privileged demographics. 3. Transparency and informed consent. Individuals using AI-driven mental health tools should know exactly what they are engaging with. Transparency about the limitations, capabilities, and possible risks of these tools is essential. Informed consent should be continuous, not a one-time checkbox, allowing users to revisit their data preferences as their comfort levels evolve. 4. Human-centered design. Despite the promise of AI, human intuition, empathy, and context remain irreplaceable elements of mental health care. AI should complement, not replace, the human aspects of therapy, with technology enhancing and expanding access to care rather than taking over the therapeutic process. 5. Accountability and oversight. Technology should be monitored and evaluated regularly to ensure that it upholds high ethical standards. Independent oversight bodies, possibly within mental health organizations or government agencies, could hold tech companies accountable for safe, effective, and ethical practices. 6. Education and digital literacy. As mental health care becomes more tech-driven, individuals need education on how to use these tools responsibly. Digital literacy programs can empower users to make informed choices about their mental health and technology, maximizing the benefits while minimizing potential harms. By aligning innovation with these principles, we can ensure that tech-driven mental health care remains a force for good, enhancing accessibility, personalization, and preventative support without compromising ethical standards. A vision of psychology's future. Technology as a companion, not a cure. In the future, technology will likely become a trusted companion in mental health care, offering individuals resources, feedback, and guidance tailored to their unique needs. But it's important to remember that technology is not a cure-all. The foundation of mental health care, human connection, empathy, and understanding, will always be essential. Technology can enhance care, but the therapeutic alliance between provider and patient remains at the heart of meaningful mental health support. The future of psychology lies in an integrated approach where technology amplifies human strengths. Therapists and mental health professionals, equipped with insights from wearable data, predictive analytics, and AI-driven diagnostics, will be able to provide more personalized, responsive care. Patients, in turn, will have a greater role in managing their mental well-being, empowered by tools that make self-care more accessible, informed, and effective. Technology offers the possibility of a world where mental health care is proactive, accessible, and responsive to each individual's needs. But it also demands responsibility from developers, providers, and society as a whole, to create systems that respect and enhance the dignity, privacy, and humanity of all users. Looking to the horizon. As we move into this new era of psychology, the ultimate goal is to create a world where mental health care is embedded seamlessly into daily life, supporting well-being in ways that are unobtrusive yet profoundly impactful. The integration of AI, neurotechnology, wearables, and virtual environments promises a level of personalization and accessibility that previous generations could only imagine. The journey forward is as much about ethical responsibility as it is about technological progress. By balancing innovation with a deep commitment to humanity's core values, we can unlock a future where mental health support is more inclusive, preventive, and empowering than ever before. In this landscape, psychology and technology are partners, working together to build a world where everyone has the resources they need to thrive, emotionally and mentally. This is the future of psychology, a future within reach if we approach it with care, integrity, and a vision of compassion. Conclusion: a new era for psychology. The journey through the intersections of psychology and technology reveals a promising future. A world where mental health care is personalized, accessible, and deeply integrated into daily life. From artificial intelligence to wearable devices and virtual reality, the innovations we have explored offer powerful tools to support mental health in ways that were once unimaginable. Yet, as we advance, the challenge lies in using these technologies thoughtfully, guided by ethical considerations that prioritize privacy, autonomy, and inclusivity. The role of technology in mental health is not to replace human connection but to enhance and support it. The therapeutic bond between a provider and a patient remains irreplaceable, fostering trust, empathy, and understanding that no algorithm or device can replicate. As AI-driven diagnostics, predictive analytics, and neurotechnology become more sophisticated, they will serve as allies, amplifying the reach and effectiveness of mental health care while keeping human relationships at the center. Key takeaways: shaping a responsible future. The integration of technology into psychology must be accompanied by responsible practices that respect the dignity and rights of every individual. To achieve this, several principles should guide our approach. 1. Commitment to privacy. Mental health data is among the most sensitive forms of personal information. Protecting this data with robust security measures, transparency, and user consent is essential to building trust and ensuring individuals feel safe using tech-based mental health tools. 2. Inclusivity in technology. AI models and mental health apps must be designed with diversity in mind, reflecting a wide range of cultural, linguistic, and socioeconomic backgrounds. Only by ensuring that these tools serve everyone equitably can we create a truly inclusive mental health landscape. 3. Proactive and preventive support. By using technology to catch early signs of mental health issues, we can move toward a preventive model of care. Wearables, predictive analytics, and AI-driven insights offer new possibilities for early intervention, helping individuals manage mental health proactively rather than reactively. 4. Human-centered approach. Technology should be viewed as an enhancement, not a replacement, for human empathy and clinical judgment. Tools that support self-awareness, resilience, and self-care should be balanced with professional guidance when necessary, ensuring that individuals receive comprehensive support. 5. Ethics and oversight. As technology rapidly evolves, continuous oversight is crucial to keep mental health care aligned with ethical standards. Regulatory bodies, mental health professionals, and tech companies must collaborate to create frameworks that ensure transparency, accountability, and user protection. A vision of empowered mental health care. Looking ahead, the potential for tech-driven mental health care is immense. We envision a world where individuals have immediate, personalized resources to support their mental well-being, where mental health care adapts to diverse needs, and where early detection and preventive care are accessible to all. This future not only brings mental health support into reach but also empowers individuals to take an active role in managing their emotional health. Imagine a future where a wearable device helps you monitor stress, sleep, and physical activity, connecting these factors to your mental well-being. When your wearable detects elevated stress levels, it suggests a guided meditation or reminds you to take a walk. Your virtual therapist, available on your phone at any time, offers conversational support, guiding you through cognitive exercises or providing resources based on your mood. Your therapist, informed by your wearable data with your consent, can provide more targeted support, adapting their approach based on the unique insights these tools provide. This vision offers us a glimpse into a mental health landscape that is accessible, adaptable, and deeply personal. It is a world where mental health care is not confined to therapy rooms but is woven into the fabric of daily life, providing continuous support in ways that feel natural and empowering. Honoring the human spirit in a tech-driven world. As we embark on this transformative journey, it is essential to remember the heart of psychology, the human spirit. Technology can be a profound tool for understanding and supporting mental health, but it must be implemented with respect for the intricacies and dignity of human experience. By keeping our ethical compass clear and prioritizing empathy and inclusivity, we can ensure that the future of psychology is one that uplifts, empowers, and respects each individual. This new era of psychology is within our reach, but it will take a collaborative effort to realize its full potential. By combining technological innovation with compassion, ethics, and insight, we can create a mental health care system that not only addresses current challenges but also lays the foundation for a healthier, more connected future. As we step into this tech-enhanced world of psychology, let us embrace the possibilities while honoring the values that define mental health care. This is the path forward. A future where technology and humanity work hand in hand to bring mental health care within reach for all, offering support, guidance, and understanding at every step of the way.